Okay, so we'll go. Yeah, why not? We'll go with the 7-to-1 ratio, and we'll take the threshold down to where we're hitting. Looks like negative 28, 29.
Is that dB?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really low.
Yeah, it's a lot of compression there. So so again, pretty close to probably where we were hitting with the LA2A, and output gain we're gonna leave right where it was. Not adding any gain to it. So we process that. Squish. Okay, so now that's a much better example of what a compressor is doing. See, we've taken that dynamic range, where that used to be really loud, and well, we just compressed it 30 dB, and see, look how much quieter it gets. So, but also, more controlled. So, it's again reducing dynamic range. Taking well, like kind of how you can see, all these, nice transient spikes, and yeah, it's kind of just taking those and reducing them, making it a little more controlled. So, yeah, so that's how you do it. That's how you patch it anyway. The only other thing on this section is going to be EQing.
Yeah.
And so all I'm going to have you do is just boost a high frequency and cut a low frequency.
Okay.
Anywhere you want, any channel. Doesn't even have to sound good. I just want to see that you know what you're doing with the EQ.
Yeah. Just turn some up, turn some stuff down, turn some stuff up.
Right.
So you have to...
So have you used these console EQs much?
No.
Okay. Well, first thing you want to do is turn them on. So that's going to be your channel switch. So into channel, and then just like any other parametric EQ, you've got your boost and cut here, dB. So you've got 15 dB of booster cut. Okay. Then
and that's for the signal, boosting the signal, or what are you boosting and cutting?
Whatever frequency we have selected here.
Okay.
So we've got frequency selection, boost and cut. And then your mid bands also have bandwidth control. So, so again, all I'm going to have you do is just boost a high, cut a low. Easiest way to remember that, if you're kind of shaky with EQ still, is 100, 1000, 10,000. So 100 hertz is low frequency. 1,000 hertz or 1K is going to be more of a mid-range frequency, and then 10,000 or 10K is going to be a high frequency. So yeah, just kind of anything in that range. So okay, boost a high, cut a low. Well, okay, low frequency, we know 100 hertz is low, so we'll select 100 hertz, and we'll just kind of arbitrarily cut it by 12 dB, and then boost a high frequency. Well, here's our high band. There's 10K right there. We know 10K is a high frequency. And we'll, again, just kind of arbitrarily boost that. About the same, 10, 12 dB.
And so, like, okay, so...
For the test, that's all you have to do.
Track 1 is... Coming in 1. Oh, that's something else. I can't really see it. But, okay, so, say that this was a... Say this was a kick, this was a snare, this is the... snare top and bottom, this is the hi-hat, this is the toms. Okay, so say this was kick drum.
Right.
You would use the low frequencies for the kick drum, the low frequencies, put it on 100, blah, 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 blah. Snare drum would, say you wanted a pop or whatever, you would use like these two to do that, snare top and bottom. Say this was a hi-hat, you would just use this one, because it's high frequencies, right?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You
so what would happen to the rest? Like, I'm just using these two for the hi-hats, because this is just a hi-hat track. What would I do with the rest of these? They just stay at 12 o'clock?
Yeah, maybe nothing. You might not do anything with them. You might go crazy with them. You might have to. You might have a terrible sounding track that you have to EQ really aggressively to get to sound, even just halfway decent.
Okay.
It really just depends on the quality of the recording.
And whatever track whatever track you're using, that's the one that you arm. Like I'm arming this track. I'm using this track for those EQs. I'm using this track for those EQs, but these I'm not using.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So
cool.
that channel switch is basically your on-off switch.
Okay.
For the EQs.
What are these other ones?
Can you do that again?
The monitor switch is actually kind of the same thing. That's only active in record mode. So when you're in record mode, remember you've got two paths. You've got the send path going to Pro Tools, and then you've got the monitor path coming back from Pro Tools.
Okay.
Well, so when you're recording, if you want to use these EQs, you have two options. So you can either send it down the channel path, which is going to send that EQ to Pro Tools. So you're EQing before the multitrack.
Okay.
If you're not comfortable with that or you're unsure, you can switch the EQ to the monitor path, so you're EQing after Pro Tools. So that EQ is not going to be recorded. Makes sense?
Why wouldn't it be switched? Like, why wouldn't you push this one while you're recording and then this one after you record? I don't know.
But it just depends on, whether or not you want to record the sound of that EQ. If you...
so if you want to record that sound of EQ, you have it in that mode?
You have it in channel. Channel path.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wait. So,
channel path is EQ before Pro Tools. Monitor path is EQ after Pro Tools. Right.
Got you.
So it's just,
monitor path. It's not like a record path. It's monitor path.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so essentially just EQing the speakers.
Word up.
So it's
just FYI.
Do you want to be married to that sound? If you're comfortable with what you're doing, that you can trust these speakers, you can trust this room, and that's a badass EQ.
Never get married.
Then yeah, sure, send it down the channel path, record it that way. It'll make your job easier when you get to mixing. The track already sounds good. You don't have to EQ it again. Maybe if you're working in a kind of a weird room, like, I don't really know if that's what it's going to sound like if I take this to another studio.
Yeah.
Then, well, maybe we'll just EQ the monitors for now. That way it'll sound better for the musicians and better for us, but we're not going to be married to it. Okay. So if we do make a mistake, we don't have to correct that later.
All right.
We'll fix it in a room that we trust.
Okay.
That's kind of the idea there.
Cool.
So that's section 2. And everything else is Pro Tools.
All right. I think I'm pretty comfortable with Pro Tools. I know it's 6 o'clock. You're off of work. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock on the dot. 6:01 actually. It's overtime for you. So I'm gonna be sensitive to that. And,
I mean, wouldn't take us that long to go through Pro Tools. I can hang out.
Boom. Let's get it then. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Yeah,
Excusez-moi.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, it should be fairly easy. There's a couple of things I want to make sure.
Let me look at the big monitor. Excuse me.
So first thing we're going to have you do is import some audio.
Okay.
Hopefully you've done that by now. For the radio spots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the file that I've been using. So I keep doing that today. All right. So we'll have you import this squonk.
Left, you have to do left and right.
Yeah.
Make sure you import left and right.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll probably even tell you, hey, make sure you grab both left and right files.
Okay.
So I don't know this. I don't think I've tested any. Oh no, I've tested one guy from the night class, and I don't think he made this mistake. So maybe it's just something crazy that Mike said to his guys this quarter. But something I've been seeing a lot of people do is, okay, so we've got our file selected that we want to import, and so we'll click this add button, and so now we're in the regions to import box. Okay, cool, that's what we want. So okay, let's import it. Well, it pops up this error. One or more of the files you have selected to add have a different sample rate than the session. These files are going to play back at the wrong speed. If you see that, do you want to continue? No, you did something wrong. So back up.
Okay.
So let's get rid of that. So again. Okay, so really what you're looking for here, if you see that this convert or convert all is active, you know, if you can use this, then you want to click it.
Okay.
And what that's doing is, you know, our source sample rate, the song, is a 44.1 file.
Okay.
Well, our session is a 48K file.
Okay.
Or a 48K session, rather.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to convert these 44.1 files to 48K. Otherwise, they're going to play back at double speed.
Okay.
So.
Double speed.
Right. So yeah, just make sure you click convert.
Okay. Cool.
Again, I think it's just Mike's guys that have been doing it, but.
I would have did that too. To be honest. No joke.
Hurry up and wait.
Man, I should appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
no, I mean, it's, you know, I'd much rather do this and have you guys, you know, learn this stuff, you know it, or at least cram it in your brain for long enough to get through the skills test, and then, you know, maybe you forget a thing or two, but, you know, we can always go back and make sure you've committed that to memory later on.
Yeah, that's why I recorded, because I don't know this, I don't know this stuff. This stuff is...
You guys are paying a lot of money to be here, so there's no reason to... So, new track. Alright, so...
Left and right, gotcha.
Yeah, so what we're going to have you edit this file.
Okay.
Edit this song. So the easiest way to do it, it trips a lot of people up now. So we used to have an editing lab that was dedicated to stuff like this. Like you did a whole lab. We had like 4 tracks that you would import and you would edit down, and you know, all this. And so well, we've eliminated that now, and I think it's like you guys talked about editing for like 1 day. So yeah, it's, I don't know, I can only get with so many throughout the quarter, so a lot of people miss out on this. So there's a couple of tricks here. The easiest way to do this, what you're looking for, is just to find a section of the song that repeats, and then we can cut out one of those repeating sections and make a seamless edit. So take a listen here. No, don't worry about that if you imported a file and it's doing that, because this is, you know, this is what it is.
Well, I mean, like, if I'm recording somebody else, if I'm mixing somebody else's song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, while you're recording or while you're mixing, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
And, well, actually, I'm lying to you a little bit.
Because I got a kick drum on this MIDI file I just did, and if I turn it down any, it's going to sound like, it's not going to be as punchy as I want it, and it's peaking, but, like, I can't turn it down, it doesn't do right if I turn it down any, like, it doesn't do right, so it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it may be an EQ thing, I don't know, I'd have to listen to it to tell you for sure.
Okay, well, let's get back to it.
Yeah, anyhow, yeah, it's not really that big of a deal if you import a file and it's doing that. This starts then, you know, professionally mixed and mastered, it came off the store box. You can't do anything about that. It is what it is. So anyhow, listening for repeating sections in the song, and then we're going to remove one of those. So this first section, we've got 4 bars of the same riff. Guitar deal. Vocals, and then the rest of the song is pretty much vocals throughout, so it gets a little more difficult to edit in there. So okay, so we found our repeating section, so now let's get rid of one of them. So things that I'm going to be looking for when you're doing this is zooming in and out, which you'll want to do. It'll make it much easier for you to edit this. And then knowing the difference between slip and shuffle edit modes, and using the trimmer tool, and then making the edits. it's like kind of a 5-in-1 deal here. So okay, so we've got a couple of ways we can do this. The longer way, but you may want to do this anyway, just because it kind of knocks out 2 birds with 1 stone, is to edit this down with markers. And the reason for that is I'm going to have you drop a marker later anyway. So if you do this, then I can check off 2 things at once, and I won't have to ask you about it later. So we'll drop a marker right at the start of one of these sections. And so there's going to be our selection.
How do you drop a marker real quick?
Oh, enter on the number pad.
I just enter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever you want to do it, make sure you press enter where it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and actually a few ways to do this. So to make this selection, we'll click on the first marker, and then hold shift, and shift click on the second marker. That makes our selection.
Shift click on. Just click the first marker. Shift click the second marker.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. You can pull up.
Control 5.
Yeah, you can pull up the marker window. And, yeah, you can do it here. Click on marker 1. Shift click on marker 2.
Okay.
That'll make your selection. Or if you do you know about the point 1 point, point 2 point?
Yeah.
Shortcuts. Okay, so point 1 point to go to marker 1, hold shift, point 2 point,
Okay.
select marker 2.
I've heard, I know it, and I knew how to do it like on a test, but I've actually never seen that done before. Just to right now. So now, okay,
Yeah,
got a better understanding of what.
Yeah, how you do it again?
Cool. Just on the 10 key here, point a number and then point again will go to your markers. So we have markers 1 and 2. So point 1 point goes to marker 1, and then we'll hold shift to make a selection, and point 2 point will select to marker 2.
Okay.
Right. So that's our selection. We can take a listen to it just to see if it's a.
Not really not getting a kick at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's a little bit off. So I guess we could, and yeah, you can see it here. Kind of, it's a little bit late.
How do you just move the marker backward, or what? How do you?
Well, yeah, you can actually just move your selection backwards, and you'll hold shift. You're affecting the selection, and then. Yeah,
and then to zoom, you use the plus and minus key, right?
R and T.
No, R and T.
Oh, R and T.
Yeah, R zooms
So,
out, T
so
zooms in.
your memory location is not on point with the beginning of that loop. So, you wouldn't have to move that whole memory location back?
Well, no, we're just using the markers to kind of get in the ballpark to make.
Oh,
the
okay. So that's what markers are for, just kind of ballparks.
Right.
If it's not right on.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
they don't have to.
Cool.
They don't have to be exact.
I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, we can come in here and then if our selection isn't perfect, well we can adjust that. The marker doesn't
Use
really
the
matter
shift
so much.
That's so crazy. I don't like that, man.
Yeah, we just use the marker to well, it's right about there is where I want to be.
Okay.
Okay, so now. That's a good move. So we can get rid of that. Delete that. Oops. Okay. So we're in slit mode. So these regions aren't going to snap together. So let's go ahead and undo that. So if we put Pro Tools in shuffle mode and delete, that'll snap it together for us. That should be a fairly smooth setting. That's what we're looking for there.
Okay. That's simple enough. I can do that. And you have to use memory locations?
You don't have to.
Okay. See, me personally, I would have just went to opened it up and went to the whatever one you wanted. But now, now I use memory locations. That's cool.
Yeah. Again, just to if you want to do that, just to knock out, two things at once, you can.
Okay, cool.
There are more efficient ways of doing it. The down-up selection arrows is a quicker way. So kind of the same thing there. Down is going to be our selection start. Up is going to be the selection
I remember
end.
that. Look at this,
6, 7, 8, up. There's our selection. Okay, and so little off there.
Yeah, can do one more time.
Actually, a little off on both of them. Okay, yeah, we'll just make a new selection. Okay, so again, down is the start of our selection. Up will be the end of the selection. Start it up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, up. Yeah, that's good. So that makes our selection there, and that looks a lot closer than where I was at.
Yeah, it's a lot closer. Well, how do you switch, like, how do you toggle that so fast over there?
When you zoom in, it always wants to zoom into the left side. If you just hit the right arrow key,
it'll go through.
It'll go to the end of the selection. Yeah, I just and then left key.
Because like it's kind of hard. A lot of times I didn't know that to like do the slider. Because if you slide too far a lot of times. So I didn't know. Okay, cool.
I stumbled across that like I don't know, a year ago, and I was it made my day.
Yeah, that's why I asked you how you did it, because I know I be messing up a lot.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of times I would have to like zoom out and then put my cursor right there and then zoom back in. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool, great,
I used to do the exact same thing. I was thrilled whenever I found that. Okay, so anyway, so we have our selection.
Shuffle mode. So
shuffle mode.
Pop together.
Delete it.
Cool.
Good.
Cool.
All right, so that's that. Probably ask you to, show me what the trimmer tool does.
Oh, even the trimmer tool is snapping back, huh?
When you're in shuffle mode.
Yeah.
And so actually, if your edit is a little bit off, you'll probably want to stay in slip mode. Oh, okay, that was way off. Okay, so let's get in there and fix it. Okay, well, we need, our edit was way late here, so we've got the same kick drum hit twice. We need to get rid of this first one, so, if you stay in shuffle mode, whenever you trim that back, that region's going to stay glued to the first region, as opposed to, if we're in slip mode, well, trim that back, now you've got the gap, then you've got to go into shuffle mode and snap them back together. So, kind of a time saver.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Let's see, after that, we'll have you write some volume automation. So you'll need to know both ways to do that.
Both ways?
Yeah, 2 ways. So one will be showing the volume graph, and then you can use any of your edit tools up here to just draw in automation. Use the pencil tool, use the grabber tool to create nodes that way, trimmer tool if you want.
Really? Okay.
Any of those.
Yeah, right.
Or even, selector tool, and then you can use the trimmer to automate that selection.
Switch back with the F4?
Yeah. F1, 2, 3, 4 is your edit modes, respectively, shuffle, slip, spot, grid.
Yeah.
The next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are, or actually 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are all of these right here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
6, 7, and 8 are the probably the ones you're going to use the most. Trimmer, selector, grabber.
And then what's the big tool called? With all three of them?
The smart tool.
Yeah, the smart tool.
Yeah, just hit any 2 of them together. We'll do it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So drawing it in, that's one way. Just delete that for now. And
you just deleted automation, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you're looking at the volume graph, you're only deleting automation. You won't. Whatever. So the other way to do it, and this is the one that most people don't learn, because it's I don't know. I don't ever really use these because I don't have a Surface controller and I suck with the mouse automating a fader.
I hate that mouse. Man.
Right. So so anyhow, down here you've got these touch latch, and right modes. So these are your automation modes.
Okay.
We'll just use right to keep it simple.
Yeah.
So this is more like console automation. You know, if you had an analog console, that's console automation. So we're actually going to be automating the fader here. So a lot of people will actually like to switch over to the mix window when they do this. I'm just going to shrink this down so we can see what's going on.
You're doing the fader because it's on volume. It's showing just the volume.
Well, that's what we're looking at here. That's just our track view. But you know, start that up in right mode. We make a fader from it. So now it's automating that fader.
Okay.
And so those are
That's freak. So is that good for like? Can you automate groups?
yeah, you can.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so those are the two.
Like, say you had another question. Say you had like track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you just for that particular reason, for a particular section in the song, can you highlight, track 1 and 5 and automate those volumes the same way?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Or yeah, you could even just group those two tracks.
Oh, just group those two together. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Word up. Okay, automation. What's after that? Automation. Automation. Then we'll have you add real-time EQ, which just call up any one of these EQ plugins. Mm-hmm. And that's really it. I've been doing this for 7 years. I think I've maybe seen 5 people miss that. All we're looking for is just that you know the difference between, okay, these plugins are real time and Audio Suite up here is offline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask you, okay, call up a real time EQ on that track, so you'll know to call the plugin. Don't go to
Audio Suite. Would it be a difference if I pull up a TDM or RTAS one?
Either way, they're both real time. Okay. The only difference is RTAS is going to tax your computer's processor, whereas TDM is using the TDM cards, so Pro Tools processing. It's not leeching off your computer.
That's why you can't do it like on Pro Tools LE.
Yeah, it'll if you have a bunch of plugins, it'll. Or no TDM on LE. That's what you're saying.
Okay,
right.
Learn something new.
Yeah, you gotta have those HD cards.
Right. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, so if you have the option to use TDM, use it. And, okay, after that, we'll have you set up a side chain.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll call up an aux track, and you can do it mono or stereo, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the aux track, we're going to make the input of that a bus. So let's use bus 25. Why not? And our reverb is going to live on the aux.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to think about this in terms of like hardware, like what we were doing earlier. The aux track is essentially your aux return channel, and so we're going to be sending to that, right? So sending from your audio track through bus 25 to that aux track where the reverb lives. So that's all that is. So as long as the send from your audio track and the input of the aux track are the same bus, then you're cool.
Alright. We're good on that.
Cool? Yeah. What else? Side chain. IO setup, I think, is after that. IO setup, and we'll have you create a new bus path here. So the thing that gets most people here is they forget to create subpaths.
Yeah.
So yeah, create new path, and then 2 new subpaths.
James, he showed us this a million times.
Okay, cool.
Like stereo.
Yeah, so create a new stereo path, and then it's gonna have its 2 mono subpaths. And the reason we have to do this is if you create a stereo path and no subpaths for it, well, Pro Tools is only going to let you use that path as a stereo path. You can only use it as stereo bus 6566. It won't let you break it down into 2 mono channels. So don't forget the subpaths.
Gotcha.
Creating a click track and changing the tempo. Simple enough. Track, create click track. And a few ways to change the tempo, but the easiest, I think, is just from the transport window, turn the conductor off, and change that to anything but 120. Got that, and then quick punch mode and bounce the disc.
Yeah, quick punch. That's one. You got to turn the pre and post roll on, right?
You don't have to.
You don't have to?
No, you don't have to do an auto punch. You can do it manually, which may be quicker. So all you got to do is first, obviously, make sure you're in quick punch mode. So we can do that from the transport window. Simply right-click on that. That'll show us all of our record modes.
It comes default in quick punch mode, right?
It kind of depends on, I think, how the last session was saved. Is how it determines that sometimes. I don't know. It's kind of random.
Yeah.
So
make sure it's on.
Yeah, so make sure we're in quick punch mode, which we are.
What's the shortcut? Is it, hold on.
There's a few.
Shift Command P. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Shift Command P will toggle
I
you.
never noticed that.
In and out of
It'll let
quick
you know
punch
if it
mode.
is or not.
And keypad 6 also.
Okay.
Same
Keypad 6. Got you.
So yeah, to do it manually, just arm the track. Start it up, and then any of your record shortcuts. And if you want to set up an auto punch, feel free. Turn on pre-post.
Command K.
Command K or Shift Command K? Yeah, Command K. Yeah, so that, and then we'll set the pre-roll to there, and then wherever your curve.
How did you do the quick punch again?
How to put it in quick punch mode.
Like how did you?
Or the pre-post. What was your question?
My bed is kind of low. I'm trying to do everything as quick as possible.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll just start over from the beginning. Okay, so we need to make sure we're in quick punch mode. So a few ways to do that. Shift Command P, keypad 6. Right click on the transport, and that'll cycle you through those.
Right click on the transport. Okay.
Or under options.
Yeah.
If you forget everything, it's right there. Under that options drop down menu.
Toggle is on the options.
Yeah.
That's what it's told.
So once you're in quick punch mode, just start the track up. Arm your track first. Get it ready to record. Start it up, and then any of your record shortcuts, 3, Command Spacebar, or F12 will punch in and out.
And that's the whole test?
That's it, except for bounce the disc.
Yeah, bounce the disc. You gotta know how to do
The
that.
very last
Option
thing.
Control B. No.
Yep. I think. Or Option Command B.
Yeah. Bounce the disc.
Option Command B. It's bounce the disc.
So, but yeah, auto punch if you want to do that.
Oh yeah, show me the auto punch again, cause.
Turn your pre-post roll on, and we'll set the pre-roll amount wherever you want that.
Let's see. That's this. What is that right there now? What is it white? Like why is it? Oh, let's see.
Because you turned off
yellow.
pre-post.
Okay. All right. So it's
So
on.
when it's yellow,
Right
it's
there.
active. So
Okay.
that's where it's going to start, and wherever your cursor is at is where it's going to punch in. So again, arm the track, hit record, and whenever it gets to the cursor, it'll automatically punch in for you.
How do you stop it? Okay. How do you make it automatically stop?
Oh, the easiest way to do it is just to make a selection. So say, well, our mistake was from here to here, and we've got our pre-roll set. Start it up.
Okay. All right. Cool. Bam.
Yeah,
Bam.
And, yeah, bounce the disc. Oops. Bounce the disc. Just make sure you know Redbook audio settings.
16,
44 1. Same way you've been doing it all quarter.
Yep.
File type you can use WAV or AIFF. Do not select MP3.
Yeah.
So, I actually failed a guy today over this.
Jeez, really?
He was sitting at a 71.
F-U-C-K.
Yep.
That sucks.
He bounced out 24-48, and that was it.
Jeez.
Yeah, so Redbook audio.
Redbook. Man, freaking Robbie, I feel like a new man, dude. I appreciate it,
Hey,
bro.
no problem,
joke,
man. No problem.
No joke. Like, everything seems so clear now. I feel like I can really, really work this situation in here, man. I really do. I really, 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 really do. Robbie's the man. He's the man. Working overtime. He overtime in here right now. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That shows dedication, man. That makes me appreciate being here. Appreciate you guys do. I appreciate it. So that's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like an engineer now,
That's
man.
the whole thing, man. So
I think I'm in here from 5
it's
to
really
7.
not too bad.
I'm gonna record something now.
Do you have time booked for your skills test already, or?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the 14th. Like the last day before the quarter, 'cause I was gonna catch a couple other people. You know what I'm saying? So when I get mine, I'm gonna be like, bam, bam, bam. But I actually feel confident. I feel like I can do it tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
No joke.
Cool. Yeah. If you have any more time booked before then.
Yeah, I got time booked tomorrow at 6. What's tomorrow? Saturday.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, I won't be here tomorrow, but who's